Welcome to EntrePods, the most cutting-edge podcast for entrepreneurs and investors. We answer the hottest question today. So now what? We are radically civilized with a focus on durable solutions that make the most positive impacts in your business, financial, personal, and community life. The world right now belongs to entrepreneurs. Today, we'll show you through our expert conversations that matter, the limitless opportunities you have right now to live the life of your dreams. The best version of you and your business starts now. Welcome to EntrePods.
Hey guys, welcome to EntrePods. I'm your host, Jennifer Glegerich, and today we have another amazing guest. Earlier, right before this, my dogs are going nuts. I'm here in Galveston today. We had a tropical storm, so I'm a little frazzled because it's just difficult in COVID times, and then you get COVID in a natural disaster. But everything's going to be great because we have a wonderful guest today. The guest that we have he is the founding member of the Next Level Mastermind podcast. He is a commercial real estate expert, so of course we want to have him on, and he's worn many different hats in his career. He's been the business development manager for ASIM Capital, the director of Concordia Realty Corporation, and he's brought this all together to do incredible masterminds and to get out great information, which is of course why we have him here. So everybody give a great big Levy applause to Adam Carswell. Welcome, Adam.
Jennifer, thank you for having me. Really looking forward to today's conversation.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the dog stuff. Like, it is just nuts right now. I think everybody's going nuts, but it's almost like, I don't know. Some people, it's an okay nuts. I've had clients, we deal with a bunch of real estate agents and real estate investors and entrepreneurs. And some of the people are making lemonade out of lemons. I talked to one guy and he said, he was out of California, an investor, very successful. And he was telling me, he goes, my wife and I are so scheduled, and our kids were scheduled. He has two, one tween and one teenager. And he said, all we did was ran around and, we're doing well in our life. He said, when this happened, we can't go anywhere. And he goes, I don't know how to say this, but the money's not coming in. There are some things that are not going well. So I've had to pivot, and I found massive new opportunity. I found that massive new opportunity, and as well as I'm being able to connect with my children in a way I haven't. And he goes, I don't think I want to go back to the old way, and my wife doesn't want to go back to the old way. So I think that that's really inspiring, that so many people are like, we don't have to live like the way we've been living. I think that it's a painful change we're all going through. This is painful, wearing masks all the time, being afraid, fear. Yep. And when we get out of that, we're like, I think it's going to be better. But I'm a positive person. So I want to think that it's all going to be better because the millionaire and billionaire class has grown exponentially during COVID. There are people profiting off this left and right. Some people aren't, but we're here to teach you ways that maybe you can. And that's what Adam does. So tell me a little bit about your journey and where you're at right now and what you're doing.
Sure. And I just want to circle back to a word you used there, which is pivot. I've had, I'm sure you can relate at being a podcast host. Since COVID hit, I've had so many conversations with individuals on my show. And I always love to ask them, how have you pivoted your business during this time? I think that's one of the most valuable things we can continue to ask for the next year or so, because everyone's business, whether we want to or not at this point, it is going to have to go through some type of pivot. If you don't pivot, then you might very well become obsolete. So, now is the time to meditate and brainstorm and figure out how can we be 10 times better than we were when this first happened. And I think a lot of people are seeing that and taking advantage of it. Us being in the podcast industry, we're probably loving it. I mean, I don't know about you. I've had probably more Zoom calls the past 6 months than I ever have before. So going back to the journey though, I started out in Cleveland, Ohio. That's where I'm from, born and raised. Actually got my Cleveland Browns, brand new Cleveland Browns hat right here. It's actually my fiance's. So I had to get it for her. But born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. Went to school in Western Pennsylvania, played basketball, ran track there for 4 years, knock on wood. I think my invitation to the Hall of Fame is around the corner here soon. So looking forward to that day. Continued playing basketball and coaching in Belize, Central America. Down there, I also got my master's and finished up grad school, moved back to the US, to Washington, D.C., where I started off with Sherwin-Williams, the paint company, actually.
Oh, wow.
And then transitioned into real estate from there. I was a residential realtor with RE/MAX for about 2 years. Realized that there was even less of a ceiling getting into the commercial side of things, and also having to write contracts at 3 a.m. and that type of stuff if you could shift your business to the commercial aspect. So got in commercial through the Cash Flow Connections Mentorship program, which hopefully we can dive into a little bit today. That program changed my life and the lives of many others. And then, just fast forwarding through it all, started working remotely in 2019 for ASIM Capital and Concordia Realty in similar regards. And now I live in Newfoundland, Canada. I moved here as I just mentioned, in May 2019, I moved here. And along the way, met my fiance, and life is good. And here we are.
Wow, that is such a journey. Belize is one of my favorite cities. I mean, not favorite cities. Oh, that's the worst.
There is Belize City.
There's Belize City, yes. And I've been to the Belize City Zoo and all that. No, Belize is one of my favorite countries. Thank you very much. Holly, that's going to be a good typo. And please cut that out, right? That's who works on all my things. Yep. No, but I've been there many times, and I love Ambergris Caye and San Pedro, and I've had so much fun in Belize, and it's so easy to travel there from where I'm at in Houston, because it's like a 2.5 hour plane ride. Yeah. So we can get right down there, and then of course everyone speaks English, so that makes it really easy too. And I just love it. I just think it's absolutely a magical.
It's more and more are starting to find out about the magic of Belize, and once the travel restrictions go away everywhere, I definitely always advise anyone, if you want to go to Belize, hit me up, because I lived there for 2 years. I got the connections, and I'm sure you probably got some too there, Jennifer.
Yes, unbelievable. That's what they call it, unbelievable, and you get all the things. Yeah, no, they're actually lifting the restriction in October, I believe, and you can get international flights. They actually stopped international flights there.
Oh, good to know.
In Belize, and so I've been keeping up with it, because it really is one of my favorite places. I need to go there. We've been so locked down, and nothing makes you feel so free as when you're just floating, having a drink
in the Caribbean,
eating some lobster. You just
there you go.
$5 for the lobster, and you're like, this is so great, right?
Yeah.
Because Belize has its own lobster season. It's very.
They do. You know about Lobster Fest, huh?
Yes,
Over
and tree chicken. I've actually eaten that with coconut rice and black beans, which of course is iguana. A lot of people don't know that. It's hard to find. It's not like they serve it everywhere, but it's delicious. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, you know more. You've got more Belize experience than I expected. I'm impressed.
No, I really like Belize. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Belize, but if y'all want to go, it's a great place. We both recommend it. So now you're in Canada, so you've run the gamut of cold to hot and all that.
Oh yeah, I've seen it all now.
And tell me about this mentorship program and cash flow, because some people think about that and they're like, oh, they hear the term cash flow and you think, oh, well, you have to have cash that flows in order to do that. That's like probably a rich person's podcast. I'm like, no, you need to change your mindset on money. And check these things out, because it's amazing. No matter where you're at, you can get so much benefit from whether you're a accredited investor to anybody else. So go ahead and tell me about that.
Yeah, the Cash Flow Connections Mentorship Program is a program, I'd say gratefully and thankfully, I now help facilitate and manage and maintain the educational platform. It's our educational platform at ASIM Capital. And Hunter Thompson is the managing principal and founder of the company. I reached out to Hunter after seeing him on a podcast. I was going to say close to 3 years ago, but now I'm starting to wonder I can't believe it. It might even be 4 years ago. I don't know. Time flies. But heard Hunter on a show and I just gravitated towards him immediately. And it was funny because it wasn't even like a real estate podcast. It was just like you'll probably laugh, but it was like a podcast where they have anyone like a Joe Rogan, almost like they'll have like people who believe in flat earth on it. They'll have people who, think just
I love those.
All
See,
kinds
I'm
of
a conspiracy person. I question everything.
Good.
So I'm loving, I listen to anything. I go, you never know.
Yeah. Hey, I'm with you. It's fun. And I jokingly say the flat earth thing, but like, I just think there's no way anyone, we're going to get conspiracy on you now. There's no way you could like prove anything in the world, I think 100,000% for sure. Like we don't, at the end of the day, like we don't know anything. That's like the greatest philosophy
No.
ever.
I do know we don't have a flat earth because cats would have already knocked us all off of it.
There you go. That's why. Now, actually, that's how we know that the earth is definitely round. So anyways, Hunter was on the show. And I was like, okay, so this guy is, an outside of the box thinker. He's in commercial real estate. I got to reach out to him and see if he can help me. Because at the time I didn't know anything really about the industry, except for, skyscrapers, right? I think most people, when they think commercial real estate, they just think stuff like that. So I was like, hey, what can I do to learn from you? How can I help you? And he kind of likes to use my story of me reaching out to him as his final push to creating the mentorship program. And that was 2017. So yeah, I guess 3 years ago. After going through the course, I continued to follow up with him and just expressed interest in learning from him and working with him. And a few months had gone by after I graduated, and he's like, hey, I'm going to Vegas for a conference called Freedom Fest. Freedom Fest is the world's largest gathering of free thinkers. There you go, surprise. And he's like, I'm going to do a booth with Cashflow Connections. Would you like to join me? And without hesitation, I was like, yes. And it's just been a great friendship and working relationship since then. And yeah, so now really what we do, and I'd say my story with the program too, for anyone interested in learning more, my story is pretty unique. Most of our students that come through the pipeline are either passive investors that are currently passively investing or looking to improve their passive investing skills, or primarily individuals who are looking to become better active investors, syndicators, individuals looking to leave their W-2 or their day job and start investing in real estate full-time, as I mentioned, actively. We have almost 100 million in assets under management, and that's after 10 years. Hunter also recently authored a book, Raising Capital for Real Estate. You can go to raisingcapitalforrealestate.com and get a free copy. You just pay for shipping.
Okay, we're going to have that link for you guys. Don't worry. Don't scribble while you're listening to this on your drive time, right? We'll have the link for you.
So yeah, it's a program where, so those are the individuals that we're looking to bring on and work with. Is anyone who's looking to replicate what we've been able to successfully do over the past 10 years. And, Hunter's really big on a theory that we kind of adopted from a guy named Russell Brunson, which is Russell's big thing is, share your secrets with the world. Share with the world how you've built the successful business that you've built. Because when you do that, you're not thinking in a competitive mindset. You're thinking of creating success for everyone. And when you create success for everyone, it makes the marketplace even better and even more successful as well. So what I'm saying is, if you guys want to actually know our secrets and how we've built what we've done, we have no problem sharing with our students how to do it.
Okay. But tell us so there is Raising Capital for Real Estate. .com, but then they can also go to your Dream Chasers, anchor.fm/Dream Chasers. And that's how they can listen to the podcast.
Okay. Yeah. So, and this is kind of on me for sending you different links. So we'll iron out. Well, Dream Chasers. Yes, that is my personal podcast, and I highly recommend. I'm going to repurpose this interview too and put it on my platform as well, with your permission, Jennifer.
No, you can put it anywhere you want. We love that. We're all good. Remember, because we share our value with the world.
Exactly.
And Russell, by the way.
Exactly. So yeah, my show is Dream Chasers. I also help produce the Cashflow Connections podcast, real estate podcast, which is the show that Hunter hosts. I'm trying to catch up to Hunter right now. I think we're at like a little over 26,000 downloads per month. So that show is performing very well. Guys, go check it out if you're looking to just become a better commercial real estate professional in general. Just one of the best ones out there by far. And then, we talked about the mentorship program, just to hit on that one more time. It's cfcmentorshipprogram.com. Go ahead, go there. Check it out. If you're looking at becoming a better passive investor, if you're looking at becoming a better active investor and learning how to raise capital like the pros do it, like we like to say, make it so that you never have to scramble for capital again. Go ahead and check that website out, cfcmentorshipprogram.com.
Okay, that's good. So tell me a little bit about that. we hear about using other people's money, how are you going to do that? So let's say you're just sitting there and you haven't done it before. Is this a program that you can do too? Like, let's say maybe you have a rental you share with your brother, but they do all the work and you're like, hey, they get the lion's share of this. Maybe I can do it too, but I'm kind of like not interested in it like he is, but commercial like really is your jam, you think, So would that be good for you?
Yeah, it's really cool to see just how robust the program is and how it's performed for our students and graduates. And I say that because it changed my life. And I was like beyond rookie, if you ask me, when I first started with commercial real estate. I hardly even knew what an asset class was at the time. However, someone who went through the course with me at the same time was someone who has been investing, I should say, for over 30 years now. His name is Steve Setledge. Hunter's had him on the Cash Flow Connections podcast that I just referenced multiple times. And so it's really cool to see how you could be a beginner or one of the smartest, most sophisticated investors out there. There's a ton of value that our students get out of the program. And on top of that, the networking component has just been, I know, again, for myself, uncomparable. And a lot of our students that come through just end up building out these tremendous networks with individuals who are on the same wavelength that they're on.
I want to circle back to how you started. So I don't want your origination story to go unnoticed. So you're listening to a podcast and you decide, hey, this guy doesn't know me from a hole in the wall, but I'm going to contact him because I want to learn more. And through that contact, you ended up over years going to a mastermind program, gaining your knowledge, getting into a brand new career, and then partnering with the same guy that so impressed you on a random podcast, all because you didn't go, well, he'll never talk to me. You did not come from a place of negativity. You came from a place of just positivity. Well, it can't hurt to try. That changed your life. It can't hurt to try. Let me just reach out. And not only did it change your life, it changed the life of the person you reached out to, because they thought, you know what, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. I think I can help people with this. And now both of you have these enriched lives, and you've enriched so many other people. And you didn't know anything when you just admitted, I didn't know anything. You weren't someone who is highly connected. You didn't say, hey, I've got about $5 million I want to invest, You just wanted to learn. You're just a regular person who didn't know and wanted to learn. So I want everybody just to pause and talk about how, we talk about like, what if you could go back in time, right? Like the Simpsons, and then they step on this ant and then donuts rain out of the sky, but everybody has lizard tongues, right? In the present time, because he goes back to like the dawn, 10,000 years in the past, right? Yeah. And he goes, I got to go back again. And then he does something else. And then he goes back to the future. Nah, it's all messed up. And it's this hilarious show, right? But what you did right then is you said, I'm going to make this call, and you change the future. So right now, the actions that we make right now can positively affect the future. And we never talk about that. How our little actions today have just as important and massive ripple effects. They're either negative or they're positive. And it's powerful. We don't need this time machine thing. We're all doing it right now. You did it right then.
I want to applaud you there, Jennifer, because I think as a host, to identify and notice that story as well, one, that makes me feel good, just like going back and kind of reliving and being like, wow, she's right. But two, I just feel like I'm happy you brought that up, because I feel like I don't get to talk about it enough. And that's just the power of reaching out. I did get to mention it the other day to someone, and it was just like, you know what? We all have the power. We literally, it sounds crazy. We hear it all the time. Call me, Rob Khalif or Tony Robbins or whoever, but like, it's true. We all really have the power to create our futures. It all starts with a vision and reaching out and following up.
Following through fear, because some people are shy, and you're just like, oh, they're just going to blow me off, or I'll send it and nothing will ever happen. I mean, how many people tell each other that? I'm going to send this email, nothing's ever going to happen for it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can apply to this job, but they're not going to look at me.
Or how many people don't even do that because they're afraid, like, yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Their limiting beliefs in their heads are telling them, no, 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 no. The world is stacked against me or whatever. And I'm going to tell you, that's not true. Those are all lies.
Mm-hmm.
Those are lies from terrible events in your life that maybe made you feel that way. Maybe you're watching too much social media or TV. You're scrolling is
That
negative scrolling.
Yeah.
If you can change that to anything is possible for me, and I am wonderful, I have something wonderful to give, then the sky's the limit, because
Mm-hmm.
that is very brave to reach out to someone you hear on a podcast. And a lot of people don't think about that. But you didn't have a big company and millions of dollars or a huge following. You didn't have anything really to offer. Then
Right.
please help me. And they did. And now both of your lives are better. And it's a great story. And I'm going to repeat it and drop your name now.
Thank you. Yeah. Hopefully, I'll talk to Hunter too, so we can get him on the show here for you as well.
Oh yeah, I would absolutely love that. And then he could talk about it from his point of view, because he had to make a decision that day too. He could have just went, this guy's not going to help me.
Mm-hmm.
Or not another one. Or I need to be working on clients that are going to pay me. Right.
Yeah.
And this guy doesn't look like he has anything to pay me because he doesn't understand really anything about real estate. I mean, as a salesperson too, or as someone in the business, we make decisions all the time to either say yes or no. Now, you cannot say yes to everything.
Right.
Sometimes the smartest thing is say no. I am stretched out. I'm overdone. I need to spend time with my wife, or I need to spend time with my husband or my kids, or my mom needs me or whatever. And you have to say no to things. And then sometimes you can't. And it's learning that. That's such a good journey.
Mm.
When do you do that? So I don't mean to overwhelm you guys. If you're more positive, then you'll put it through the positive filter, or what's going to be the best benefit in my life, and think about it. It also makes it a little bit more exciting because you can direct more of your own life. You don't just feel like a victim of circumstance.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so let's talk about this mentorship. What is your role at cfcmentorshipprogram.com? Will they be able to still talk to you if we direct them there?
Yeah, that's the fun part of the journey. Looking back on it too, going through the program and now being able to help facilitate it and manage it. I am the individual that you will have a phone call with, the screening call, to make sure you're a good fit. Now, I don't mean to say that we're talking about being positive and whatnot right now, but we are selective.
I'm going to judge you. No. No, that's not what he means.
Yep. Thanks, guys, for joining us today. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate it, Jennifer. Best way to reach out and get in touch with me is through my website, my personal website, which is carswell.io. That's I as in Idaho, O as in Ohio, carswell.io. And that has links to all of my social media accounts. And then if you send me a message there, that'll go directly to my email as well. And, whatever your preference is, I look forward to speaking with you there.
Okay, guys, you heard it. This is the end of our podcast with Adam Carswell. All the links will provide it like normal, so you can get to him. You don't have to write this down. It'll be right under the show, so you can come back later and just click on your smartphone, and it'll take you right to Adam, and you can find out a lot more about commercial real estate, get mentored, learn more about it from some of the industry's top leaders who are there to help you and educate you.
And thank you, EntrePods listeners, for being with us today for that wonderful guest. And remember, you just need to go to EntrePods.com. You can find us on every bit of social media you can think of by just putting in at EntrePods, EntrePods, and you can listen to us on your favorite listening platform. We're everywhere. If you have any questions, you can just email info@entrepods.com, or you can go and become a member on our membership site. So you're going to hear more about that here in a little bit. And thank you, and have a wonderful week. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening, and please go give us a 5-star rating on your preferred listening platform if you enjoyed the show. This helps us reach more listeners like you and keep booking amazing guests. If you'd like to join our growing EntrePods community, want our social media links to like or share, or inquire about one-on-one strategy calls with our host Jennifer, please visit EntrePods.com. See you next time, and here's to you and your best life imaginable.